Now, say my name.
The Rolling Bad Podcast.
You're goddamn right.
Welcome to the Rolling Bad Podcast, episode number 75. This is the one we were supposed to do live.
Yeah.
Coming to you from the recently Trumpified Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Yeah, we're on the map, baby.
Oh, yeah.
We're recording on Monday, October 1st. I'm your host, Glum Elric. God damn it. And with me also as a host and co-equal person of interest. I didn't even read that far. I just got lost on the Trumpified Rio Rancho.
Yeah, I'm Bill Costello, and I'm with you also.
Are you?
Yeah, you were always saying how it sounds like I'm just some scrub you pulled in from the
Well,
street.
that's just a mouthful, and I don't think you're, what did it say, equally interesting or something?
I put host and co-equal person of interest.
Okay.
So
well, we'll let the listeners decide on that.
Yeah, well, we already know what they think.
So, yeah, we had El Jefe,
Yeah.
one bad hombre in town. What was it, like 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah, last
Something.
Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, that was a joy because he drove right out in front of my house. I couldn't go anywhere because they had blocked off all the streets.
Yeah.
I literally could not leave my neighborhood because of the police and Secret Service and stuff.
Well, you were just going to go to the rally anyway.
Well, yeah, I can walk to it, but,
Yeah.
I mean, God.
With
at least-
your MAGA thong and
Yeah,
so good.
yeah. So, I mean, stirring rendition of God Save the King. All right, let's move on from that.
right.
This is the wrong show.
Wrong show.
Yeah.
The other
So-
one's coming.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so in the intro, a couple of things want to shout out real quick. I did a guest spot on another podcast.
Excuse me?
I did a guest spot on another podcast.
I didn't. I don't remember okaying this.
I sent you the schedule invite.
I'm going to have to go through my emails, Bill, but I'm pretty sure I never okayed anything like that.
So anyway, because I care deeply. So Nuno Martins and Aaron Bostian are starting up a podcast. They're going to call it the Filthy Casual Neon Podcast. It's going to be all about narrative, and I'm sure it's going to be a lot about Warcry, all that other good stuff. And they asked me to be their first guest. So
How you can make the most competitively narrative list
yes,
out there
yes,
if your narrative is winning.
yes. My narrative is to crush my enemies before me and hear the lamentation. Well, not that any of them have women, but yeah.
Wow.
Come on, let's get real here. We're geek gamers. Yeah,
It happens.
it does. It really does.
Or perhaps your narrative is making a dummy account of somebody on Twitter. Huh?
I can't believe you're going to Raw without me, man.
I can't believe I'm going to Raw without me either. God.
Well, you are a world traveler, I must say.
I know.
Also in the shout-outs department, I'll be running a meeting engagement tournament at Active Imagination on the 12th, starting at 11 in the morning. So if you're in the Albuquerque area or the New Mexico area, or you feel like flying out for what's probably going to be a terrible tournament, you can come out and play a meeting engagement tournament. I just applied for the ITC token today, and
Ooh.
yeah,
ITC meeting engagements.
yes, sir.
Okay.
That's what it's all going to be, and made up some posters. I got to take one to Anders at the Warhammer store tomorrow and put it up at AI, maybe Etten too. So
Nice.
yeah, yep. Quick shout out to my buddy Matt White, whose birthday is October 2nd. So for us, it's tomorrow. For the listeners, it's going to be sometime in the past. But happy birthday, Matt.
So now we do birthday shout outs on this show?
Yeah.
What is happening You just do other people's shows. You start interjecting new bits.
We're selling out to sponsors, man.
I knew it was going to happen one of these days.
We're just sellouts.
Yeah.
Anyway, and now in the Pepsi New Dawn.
Yeah. We like that bit from Wayne's World 2. And they're holding bags of Doritos and wearing Reebok. And
So should we head into all the new stuff? Because it's been like a month since we recorded last.
Yeah, it's something absurd.
It's been hellish. So
I don't think anything has come out in this game. Any of the games. GW has not released I think they released like half a White Dwarf. It was just called White. Oh my God.
I cannot believe you went there.
Anyways. So for the Ages of Sigmar.
Not much.
Nothing.
Yeah, well, the Warcry FAQ came out. So clarifies a couple things about cover and how to overestimate your height, like we all do as men. I feel personally attacked.
And apparently the starter box is done. If you can get your mitts on it now, do it.
Yeah.
Fortunately, everything that's in there is available separately, but at a much greater price.
Yeah.
So it's really just a screaming deal of a box. There's no limited edition minis in there.
No, but
like that, which is nice.
It's still a great deal.
Absolutely. And then we got Beast Grave.
Yeah. My golly.
Underworld's goodness.
Season 3, Beast Grave. So a couple of interesting changes to the rules. I mean, but still very streamlined, very competitive. One of the neat things they did was to make going on guard a little more appealing to people. If you go on guard now, you can't be pushed back. So.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, that makes guard. Because honestly, there was really not a lot of. I didn't see a lot of people using guard tokens that much because there was always something else you wanted to do. And when you only have 12 activations.
Well, yeah, generally you want to cause damage.
Yeah, or
or move.
Be somewhere where you need to be.
Right.
But at least this way, if you get on an objective, you can prevent yourself from just getting thrown off it by a semi-lucky roll. So, and there's other things too. The two war bands are just slick. They are just so good looking. And I don't know. I think the reviews are kind of mixed on the war bands, but I think they're both really good looking.
I absolutely love the ones in the box.
Mm-hmm.
The Beastmen and the Wood Elves, or the Wanderers.
Yeah, Wanderers.
They're like Kurnothi Hunters or something. I forget.
They're Wanderers.
Yeah. Both those factions look fantastic. The new Flesh Eater Court got previewed on the community site. And I have to say the video that they did, their hype video, I was really, really unimpressed.
Really?
With the models. I thought the colors looked awful. And granted, what I saw, I did not watch the video. Mm-hmm. Let me be clear. Instead, what I saw was stills taken from that. Then they put up the nice white background pictures, Warhammer community picture, and I was like, okay, these do look fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm not particularly keen on the color of the flesh tones and
stuff.
They're
very, very dark.
Dark. Just like they got like this weird muted feeling. I don't know, something. I almost feel nurgly instead of undead, maybe. But model-wise, fantastic. They are really good. So I ate crow, I guess you might want to say, because I was like, wow, these look garbage on the stills that I saw from the video. But no, they really are fantastic models. So once again, what do you know? An Underworld's faction looks stunning.
Absolutely over the top. And if they can make boxes of 40 of those, they'll sell them in droves. And even the bat swarms.
Yeah.
I mean, those can actually bring back bat swarms because they look good.
That kit, good God. I don't even remember when Bat Swarms.
Oh my God, that was
dropped like 4th edition fantasy.
Ago.
3rd or 4th edition fantasy.
Probably the same time as the skeletons and zombies.
No, the skeletons are newer. Zombies, it might be around the same time. Something like that, maybe. Yeah. I'm sure there's somebody screaming at their
of course.
Their podcast player.
Don't you know the exact date, you idiots?
God, nerds. But yeah, those three look fantastic. What do you think the next one is going to be that they announced?
Well, since they did a Lizardman Blood Bowl team,
nobody cares about Blood Bowl.
Yeah, but people care about the Lizardmen.
Nobody cares about Lizardmen either, Bill.
Stop it.
I guarantee you that hardcore triggered somebody to say nobody cares about Blood Bowl, because Blood Bowl players are
rabid.
Yeah, freaking fanatics.
They're like Steelers fans.
Stop it.
Hashtag triggered.
So we are not doing this on air.
I
will offend somebody.
No, we
Anyways, I don't know. I sit there and I wonder, like, well, when are we going to get a Daughters of Cain or an Idoneth Deepkin Underworld's faction?
I don't know. This whole theme of Beastgrave, and, so far, I don't know. I really don't know where they're going to go. It could be anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, man, there's so many doors open to them, because you could bring in ogres, maybe a warband of 2 or perhaps 3.
Well, if Mollog is by himself with a couple of mushrooms, then I'd imagine ogres wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's going to be. But, I mean, there's so many directions they can go with it. They're free. I'd like to see Lizardmen, actual Seraphon in that game. That would be fun.
Yeah, you could do like a Temple Guard.
Some warriors.
A Saurus, and then like 3 or 4 skinks. Like 3 skinks and a chameleon.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got to work a chameleon in there somewhere.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and just give us some new models to use for those old.
Just give people a taste of what the new stuff could be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And make us even angrier than we are now.
I'm telling you, man, that army is going to get a total facelift. It's coming.
It's got to be.
It's coming. I think they're with the 2 books that are coming out, with Auric Warclans and Cities of Sigmar.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are just quickly trying to tie up the loose ends of these like pseudo factions that just don't make sense.
Don't have anything.
So
Beastclaw should be getting something sometime.
I was just looking at Destruction earlier, and if they tied Gutbusters and Beastclaw Raiders together, which they just should. I don't understand why that's 2 separate factions. That's just 3 Destruction armies.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I was like, wow, 3 books.
But it also gives them the opportunity to come up with something new.
Oh, don't. Oh, I get giddy just thinking about what they could do for Destruction.
I mean, we know the Ossiarch Bone Reapers are coming soon.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the next big splash release.
Yeah.
But it also leaves them open to do so much. They could just get nuts.
Yeah, I feel like Destruction is one of those factions. Destruction and Death. I think you're starting to see it with those Ossiarch Bone Reapers. There's, a heavy nod to Tomb Kings, which is cool. A interesting nod to like Tyranids and Necrons in there too. But
isn't it strange?
Yeah. I mean, whatever. Inspiration. The models look fantastic.
Yeah.
They're going to look even better on the table when you're pushing them around, because Bill's going to buy all of them. But anyways, I don't know, man. I can't help but look at some of this stuff like them and KO and Deepkin and feel like if that's where they've taken those things, imagine what they could do with Destruction. Imagine if they just embraced a big monster Gribbly army more so than Beastclaw.
Sure.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where it could go. You can just get bananas with it, though.
Yeah, and they're showing that they do have the creativity to just create stuff out of the blue, out of thin air. So, they're not forcing themselves to root this stuff in the old world or the old models. We can just go. I mean, I know the Ossiarch is a nod to Tomb Kings, but
it's also a very clear push in a new direction too.
Yeah.
So,
and you could say the same thing. There none of the dwarf factions that are Dwarven factions are old dwarves. They are a very new take on what a dwarf could be. So, I'm all for them just going in any direction they want, because they haven't missed it yet.
Yeah, and same thing with elves. Oh, the Daughters of Cain uses a lot of existing stuff that was available in the old world, but you look at those snake chicks and the flying ones and Morathi. Good God, Morathi is one of the best kits they've ever made. Yeah, it just taking an existing line and infusing it with tons of good new stuff. Yeah,
it's just they're knocking it out of the park. So
and this episode will drop pretty much the day Cities of Sigmar and Orc Warclans drop. Yeah. So we've already got. Well, they've already been spoiled because the.
Oh yeah, everybody knows everything.
The online reviews are already up and stuff. Look, they look fantastic. I'm so hyped, very very hyped because I just picked up a whole Dispossessed army.
Yeah.
And a Stormcast army, so I can mix the two possibly or whatever.
It's fun. Just my bellwether these days is what happens on WhatsApp. And when you turn on WhatsApp every morning and there's 800 messages
that's ridiculous.
Scattered between those two groups, for the Cities of Sigmar and the Oryx, they've hit the people. They've hit the audience. So it is just nuts. And I'll tell you, the snippets that we have without seeing the book so far is, wow, it's going to be, they're on the map.
Look,
I think Oryx more than Cities, but who knows where it's all going to lead. Who knows what combos are out there that, you just don't see until you get the book in your hands.
Right, yeah.
So
let me ask you this. Cities of Sigmar does not have a single new model.
Right.
It's just a book. I just realized neither of those factions are getting a terrain piece or endless spells or anything like that.
Nothing's been announced. So.
Wow. Interesting. Anyways, so Orc Warclans is like 70 to 80% new or old stuff.
Yeah.
But Cities of Sigmar is 100% old kits.
Stuff.
I don't think anything in that book has been released since the death of the old world.
Right. Nothing.
How do you feel, especially as a newer player, because you've only played since Age of Sigmar, how do you feel about a book coming out that is basically just a collection of old models and making it into an army?
I honestly think it's fantastic. Yeah, I do feel a little left out because I don't have a single model in those books. Well, I have some Ironjawz, but especially the Cities of Sigmar. But on the flip side, there's so many people that do, and you can just see by the sheer volume of messages, the volume of acceptance for this, that they've hit it right on the head. They've hit a lot of people and made them happy to be able to go back to the stuff that they loved and bring it forward and play with it now without having to use some wonky scrolls from an index. I think it's something the game needed for a long time. You know me, I'm not real big on going back to anything to do with the old world, but you have to understand there's a lot of people that have a lot of those armies, and to just kind of leave them out in the cold, it's like, I'm a little bummed that we don't have a new Seraphon book, but that's nothing compared to what these Bretonnian guys, what these Collegiate Arcanum guys have been going through.
Well, there's no Bretonnians, but...
Well, but you know what I mean?
Empire.
Those guys. Yeah. They can do something now. There's stuff.
Right.
You can run your cavalry now. You can have all that great stuff that has just been sitting there moldering in the closet.
Yeah, or just struggling with like a one-page snippet in a general's handbook, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes me happy because it's tying up, like I said, all those loose ends, all those stupid little pseudo factions that just, you could never play an assassin's army. Like,
right.
Come on, you're not.
You couldn't do a Wanderers. Well, you could.
Yeah, but like a Collegiate Arcanum kind of thing. Like they just, Ironweld Arsenal, they just weren't real armies, but they were factions. So there was no synergy amongst any of it, which was just, I think they had ideas and they just didn't quite go the way they wanted.
Sure.
So it's nice to see them tidy it up, make it synergize well, make it into a full functioning order army.
Yeah.
And, and then we can just kind of move on. Same thing with the destruction. Honestly, I think it's even better for the Orc War clans because I was really racking my brain as to like what you could do for those two factions to give them more flavor and make them more viable, really, so that it wasn't just Cunning Rock, basically for Bone Splitters, and then like what you could do for Ironjawz to make them more than just a one-dimensional run forward and fight army. It's like, well, you want to add some kind of ranged or whatever. You want to allow Ironjawz to play in other phases of the game. Yeah. And then for Bone Splitters, it's like you want to just add something other than the literal 2 kits that army is. Mm-hmm. And so rather than try to create whole new models and balance it and stuff, it's like, well, we'll just throw the 2 armies together. Yeah. And they complement each other incredibly well. So why not?
Exactly. Why not make it a thing?
Yeah. And it sucks that old school greenskins are just completely gone from the game, considering what Cities of Sigmar just got. Some of those models are freaking old. Like, I don't know, the entire Free People's range practically. Yeah. But hey, it happens.
But see, to me also, these things give them a base now to build from. And remember, I always said several times in several shows that they're not really going to support something that you really can't buy anymore.
Yeah.
Well, not a lot of these things are really super available other than via the web store orders. But there's a ton of this stuff out there on eBay and, everywhere where you get your minis from. They're out there. So... I think even if you were me and all of a sudden I do actually want to do a Free People's Army. I want to do a Lions of Adasa thing.
What's that?
From the Gotrek audio books.
Okay.
At some point, I don't want to do it today, but at some point I'd love to put something like that together. And I can do it. It's not like you can't buy those models. So. Yeah. To me, tying all this stuff together, like you said, was just fantastic. It's great. I love it. And I'm not bothered now if they came out with, a book for, like Tomb Kings that you cannot get anymore. That would be annoying. That would be but I think everyone would be annoyed except for the Tomb Kings guys. Right?
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, but I'm overall very excited for the book.
Yeah,
I feel like maybe they did miss something, though, by not coming out with Endless Spells or maybe a new kit or, I don't know, something.
That may come when they do the reimagining.
Yeah.
When they
we'll see.
Add new stuff.
And you can't really nitpick too much because there's these 2, and then OCR Bone Reapers are coming out pretty quick after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I would imagine there's more.
Oh, yeah.
More destruction.
God, let's hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
also coming out is a whole bunch of Middle-earth stuff.
Yeah.
So that was a real fun pre-order for me because they're coming out with cards for the different units so that you can actually have a quick reference card at the table. Plus all the spells in the game, all the magic in the game are getting a set of cards. And then they're doing up the Armies of the Dead. So they came out with a headquarter unit for the Army of the Dead. And you can actually buy the Armies of the Dead boxes, or if you have Pelennor Fields, you have a pretty decent start to an Army of the Dead. So they're making the Army of the Dead quite a thing. So that's cool. We already mentioned the Lizardmen Blood Bowl team is out. Did you see the Bandai Space Marine? The action figure?
Yeah. How many of those are you getting, Bill?
When will they stop me? At what point do they say no?
Oh,
no,
man.
I'll probably get 1 or 2. It's...
Are they all Ultramarines, or is that the one they preview?
That's
blank?
The preview. I believe they're blank. I believe you
can paint them.
Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong now. I'm second guessing myself.
Oh, so. Bill.
But it doesn't matter. Right. Look how posable they are.
Yeah.
I can have it kneeling to Guilliman. Or me. Or something.
That's true. Yeah.
G.I. Joe's going to get bitch slapped. Oh, my God. Hey, Joe, come here.
Yeah. Knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
Knowing you're about to get your ass whipped.
Yeah, know this.
Yeah. It is a badass thing. I couldn't believe that when I saw it.
It really is. It's really cool looking. So the Blackstone Fortress has some expansions coming out. They're super supporting that game.
Yeah.
And it's obviously selling because they wouldn't have.
Way more than Warhammer Quest got, unfortunately.
I wonder if there is a Redux coming out with, the new system and everything else.
Yeah.
Or maybe it just didn't sell, It could very well be that I know Blackstone Fortress has a lot more tie into the regular gaming world.
How so?
It seems to have gotten more coverage on the non-GW fanboy places.
Oh, really?
The Board Game Geeks, the what's his name? I can't think of the other site. God, the Gamers Guild or something. It got better coverage on that. It got better reviews, and so it's got a little bit more acceptance. So obviously it's selling better because they're pumping out stuff for it. So, and I love seeing it. I love seeing that.
Yeah.
Get this game at that level into the hands of tabletop gamers, and next thing you know, they're intrigued. And they go to a Warhammer store and go, hey, this is some cool stuff. So who knows? It's a gateway drug. Yay. It's like a war cry.
Well, yeah, speaking of war cry, we should touch on that real quick. They did announce that they did show a model for the, was it Iron Spire Tyrants or something like that? And then a big-ass ogre-looking dude, like way bigger than the Ogre Breacher.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they did kind of like we have a lot more stuff planned for this game post. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and they also previewed that Lords and Generals book, or what was it? They previewed another new expansion book.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I mean they're obviously from what I understand from industry insiders, it's selling like freaking hotcakes, and it is truly the new hotness in the GW range.
Warcry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
There's a lot of people saying that they were wondering if it would have as much of an impact as Kill Team, and from what I'm given to understand, it's had a bigger impact than Kill Team. So
really,
yeah, it's flying. So, and I think it's great because it's a fantastic, phenomenal game. It's literally all I have been playing lately is Warcry. And because it can fit into my schedule. Yeah. I actually took my Warcry stuff to work and played with a guy at work, which
really
is crazy. Yeah. I was going to save that for battle, but
Oh, okay.
So let me see here. We got Oryx. Everchosen finalists are up.
Oh, I haven't even looked at any of that, unfortunately.
If you go to the Everchosen pages there, the 3 finalists are up, and, 2 things to say.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Mm-hmm. Second thing, all AOS models. No 40K model made the top 3.
What?
That's right. It's all AOS models.
What do we have?
Yes, and that other one, and then that one big guy,
Oh, Bill.
So.
Oh, Bill.
But also, and this is kind of... they even made sort of a casual nod to the fact that there were some phenomenal looking models out there where the photography was just terrible, and they couldn't give it the nod. They couldn't put it into that. Whereas, in person, it might have eclipsed or, at least had a good shot at the top 3. But really, it was...
You gotta wonder...
photography had so much to do with it, and that that's kind of sad. I know if I was, at one of those top level painter guys, I would probably hire a photographer. Somebody that
Yeah.
Unless I had those skills, I would reach out.
Yeah. I feel like if I was somebody who got a nod or something like that, and it was because of my photography that kept me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next year or next time or whatever they do it, I would definitely be either A, learning how to take
amazing
pictures, or finding somebody who's capable of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'd hate to think that there's a model out there that's better than these and is just simply left out because it was too dark to see the details or something. So,
yeah.
But I have to believe that, they'll learn from this one and do it different next time. So, or maybe tweak it a little bit next time.
Yeah.
So,
learn and progress.
Yep. What
else has been announced for 40K?
For 40K, well, the Psychic Awakening is Jane Jazar. I feel my inner Eldar little parts wiggling.
Yeah.
I almost today, I literally was looking at the closet going, the only thing that stops me is the Eldar are in the box on the very bottom, and I'd have to move all the other ones. But it's like,
oh, no.
Wow. Again, the guy that I shouted out for the birthday, Matt White, gave me a bunch of Eldar models. And they're the old, like I have the old metal warp spiders and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, these are so good. And Eldar is so much fun to play.
Well, get it together, Bill, and I have a massive Dark Eldar army now, so we can...
I won't play against Dark Eldar. I don't believe in them.
Well,
they're just Eldar who've lost their way, and
they believe in you. Believe me, they believe in you.
Do they?
Yeesh. Oh, yeah, just a lot of Space Marine stuff too.
Mm-hmm. There's been the Salamanders
and the Imperial Fist.
And the Imperial Fist
and
models have been
leaked. Those two models look unreal.
Yeah, just call me on the Salamander. Yeah. I am hobby wobbling toward the Salamanders right now.
Oh, God. Bill. Yep. Get it together.
I can't.
Come on.
This is me we're talking about. I will wobble till I die.
Paint some more night, huh? You'll be all right.
Yeah, that's me. And then last but not least, let's talk about the most contentious thing in the last day or two.
Yeah. So
Disney's buying GW.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say Hasbro bought GW finally.
No, it was Disney.
Yeah.
So really, the Marvel GW mashup
for comics.
For comics.
They're going to do a damn comic book, and that's it. Calm down, internet.
No, Disney's buying GW.
Wow, man.
Yeah. No, they threw in. They're with the devil now.
I could not believe how. Whatever. I can believe it.
So listen. Here's what's going to happen, and everybody can just relax.
Lay it out there for us, Bill. Soothe us.
So we know Guilliman is after some sort of edge, so that when he fights Mortarion again, he'll have it.
Okay.
So he's going to go to a jungle planet. He's going to meet a very short-looking dude who's going to teach him to use a lightsaber. And then we're going to have lightsabers in 40K.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I honestly, I fully embrace this, and I think it's genius. And if they feel like sending us any kind of grimdark lightsabers to review, no. I think it's. How could you not be stoked about Games Workshop finally teaming up? They're not being bought out by anybody, and you know damn well Games Workshop hangs on to their IP tighter than
you betcha
than a.
Don't say it. I don't want to have to edit it out.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, this is a licensing deal.
Yeah,
it was announced exactly as a licensing deal, and how could you not want comics for? And hopefully they're going to blaze new trails. They're not just going to tell Lysander's story again, or they're going to do new stuff, new Primaris stories, new Eldar. I mean, can you imagine the artists over there doing Dark Eldar and Eldar and all the other stuff?
Tyranids.
They can go
a horde
nuts.
of Tyranids.
Yeah, and they can have their own storylines. They can have their own sector and just.
But they're going to make it so PC and blah, blah. Shut up and stick your head in a meat grinder.
Yes, please.
Good Lord.
So,
anyway, yeah, we're not going to.
Yeah.
We'll address some of that stuff on a future show.
Next show we're going to have a little bit more to say on that. But
yeah, I'm very excited.
I'm totally jazzed.
That means there's a lot of money behind the project. In fact, I heard a rumor, I might be wrong on this, that it is basically the whole reason Spider-Man is back in the MCU.
Warhammer?
Yeah. This whole comic book thing.
Okay. Connect those dots.
Okay, so Spider-Man got pulled out of the MCU because Sony and Disney could not
agree,
come to eye to eye. So Games Workshop stepped in and was like, "Hey, we're going to do this thing. It's just comic book related, but it's going to be cool." And Sony was so embarrassed that they went groveling back to the almighty Disney.
And I fell for this.
Did you really? Did you really? Bill,
I did.
Bless. How long have you known me?
And
what's the number one rule? Never take anything I say seriously. Seriously.
I honestly was, really? That's why Spidey?
Why the hell would Sony care about comic books involving... Oh,
that's why I was like,
Bill.
connect the dots. I don't get it.
Oh, Bill.
I actually had that moment of, am I that dumb?
This is like way back when I announced Robo Gilliman was coming back, and I wrote that whole story, that little snippet for you.
Oh, my God, yeah.
You guys were like, oh, what?
Wow, that's so cool.
And then he ended up coming back anyway, so cool.
How prophetic.
Yep.
Or pathetic. No, yeah. Pathetic on my part, yeah. I was buying it hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, Bill. Really? That's what you should get a little sound bit of, is just me saying, oh, Bill.
Yeah, I should. I have it, too. I just need to put it on there. Oh, Bill.
Yep.
All right, have we beat up the new stuff to death?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure. Good Lord, I'm sure there's more somewhere in there.
Stuff, I know. We're just hitting the highlights because Sisters Battle is fast approaching.
Yeah, they've actually been showing some of the kits, and good God, good God,
yep,
the hype.
I agree.
Very excited. All right, let's get past this.
Let's get creation.
All right.
So the first thing I want to do in creation.
In the beginning.
Oh, wow. That was terribly angelic. Or not angelic.
I mean, I saw the light.
Okay,
it might have been an aneurysm.
Oh, that was the light going out of my eyes.
Is somebody cooking eggs?
Oh, Lord. First, I want to shout out Tectonic Dan, Tectonic Craft Studios.
Okay.
If you need anything done with MDF, go to Tectonic Craft Studios, because Dan is, number one, a super supporter of the hobby, and he helps out anybody and everybody. He'll do custom work for you. He'll do whatever you want. Plus, he makes a whole range of very cool stuff. So all those paint racks, remember the paint racks I came back with?
Yeah, all the ones that you kept for yourself.
Well, yeah, because I paid American dollars for them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fair. I thought maybe we got some kind of a hookup. So you're just giving a free shout out.
Yeah, free shout out.
So this is the third time this show that you've railroaded a personal plug for whatever. I don't like where this is going, Bill. I'm just saying, like, all right.
Okay.
You are drunk on power ever since you came back from Nova.
I'm just drunk.
Okay, well, yeah.
I have no power. I can't even make things happen in my own house. Okay. Good Lord. I've been married for 35 years. You think I have power?
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. So, in the realm of creation, I've done a bunch of stuff, but I unfortunately haven't finished a ton of it. I did finish the Osgiliath terrain. You saw that, right? I put that up. That was like right around just after Nova. So, I knocked that out. Yeah, I did it on all the sandstone. So, and
I'm going to go with yes. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
It's on the Facebook
actually
page.
Completed this.
Yeah, there's pictures. There's proof.
I mean, yeah, because you couldn't find other pictures on the internet possibly to just post.
Yeah, with my warband in front of them. I'm good at Photoshop, man.
Yeah,
I'm really good.
How great would it be if you spent more time photoshopping that than just painting the damn kit?
Do it. You have contrast paints now, you idiot.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. My Aeronautica Imperialis stuff is still in work.
Yeah, that looks badass.
It's moving on. Yep. I love that stuff. I got the new set of ruins that I bought off Amazon. Remember? Well, you just saw them the other day.
Yeah, that stuff looks cool. I can't wait to see that completely finished.
Yeah.
It looks sharp.
Yeah, all I have to do is really add the flocking to it now, and those pieces are ready. So
Nice.
I will knock that out this weekend, I hope. So I built a War Hydra for Warcry.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I built the Skimera because it was a Chimera. Now it's going to be on skis.
You really are running with this one, aren't you?
Did you see the skis I built out of balsa wood?
Oh, my God.
They're awesome. Yeah. He's going to be a Skimera.
You're so proud of yourself.
I am. Oh, and I have the new Stormvault set, which you actually said I should strip.
Oh, yeah.
And start over with.
Completely, yeah. That would be my first tip. First bit of feedback. No, I think the first bit I said was put it in the backyard and set it on fire.
That's right.
And record it.
And record it.
The second one was strip it. And then the third was like, okay, maybe add a couple extra highlights. It looks all right. I did some stuff in this hobby.
You did.
So.
And I have pictures.
Yeah. Oh, you did take pictures.
I did take pictures.
Oh, boy. Some of the first pictures you've ever taken of me with my clothes on. So I made Iron Jazz. Yeah. Again, for the second time.
Yes.
Because they're Iron Jaws, man. I can't get away from them.
No,
Why
you can't.
can't I quit you? They're like my little sheep herders.
Yeah.
In the mountains of Wyoming. Yeah, so I was building art boys the other day.
For Warcry.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're the artist of boys. And I bought brutes as well. So I have a box of brutes and then like a dozen art boys. Get those built up and painted.
Yep.
And then...
but you've done other things, haven't you?
Well, if purchasing is hobby, then
I'm calling it hobby.
I've been hobbying my ass off. Good Lord.
When I said you were getting out of the hobby, I may have grossly understated.
Yeah, so I'm back.
Yay!
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here since 8:30. Yeah, right. Yeah, so for $40K, we'll get that out of the way real quick.
Lay it on me.
A massive Primaris army that I bought, all still in shrink wrap. You'd be so proud, Bill.
No, I am. Not would be. I am.
You like that? How much did you drool when you saw that picture?
That stuff on your bed?
Yeah.
I was very, very proud, but I have all that stuff. So in shrink wrap.
Oh, my God. This guy. So, yeah, I got a Primaris army. I'm torn because the Imperial Fist book is coming out.
Oh, yeah. Soon.
Yeah. And there is no mention of the Templars of Blackness within that book, apparently.
I'm telling you, they're going to get their own book.
But when, Bill?
Well, it's the same thing. When are the Blood Angels going to get an update?
Nobody cares about the Blood Angels. This is Black Templars we're talking about.
And they're going to do the founding chapters first.
Okay.
And then they're going to catch up with the major, highly publicized.
Pump out Blood Angels. Okay, and then we got the other 6.
They only have a few more to go.
For the regular Space Marine book, I'm glad they all got their own individual codexes.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Nobody cares about Dark Angels and Space Wolves. Chaos Space Marines already got their update.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then Black Templar. Come on.
Should be coming down the pike. And, what better time to release Black Templars when you're releasing Sisters of Battle?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm torn about.
So
it's like, do I wait and do Black Templar when the book drops? Or do I do Imperial Fists with what I have now and then do Black Templar when that book drops?
Well,
Or do I just focus on an AOS project instead?
Oh, God.
So much.
You're asking me, the guy who can't focus on one thing for 5 minutes.
That's true.
You're asking me what to do. Why don't you ask Ryan what army to collect? Okay?
Yeah, because he's focused like a laser.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Straight shooting.
As you flash me in the eyes with a laser.
Is that right?
Yeah. I hear these can blind aircraft pilots. Let's see what it does at 5 feet away.
That's my green ones.
Oh, yeah. Just trying to signal the aliens. Mm-hmm. So I got a massive Primaris army. I got an even bigger Dark Eldar army.
That's intriguing.
Like, stupid big. I don't know why. That was pure impulse. All of it was pure impulse. I don't know. The last few weeks have been a blur. And then and a Chaos Space Marine army. So I'll be able to do my Black Legion.
Nice.
So that's it for 40K. And I'm just patiently waiting for Sisters. For Age of the Sigmars.
Yes.
I will be getting, I have a Kharadron Overlord and a Net Deepkin army in the mix out there, waiting for those to return home. And then currently here I have a Stormcast army because you're not going to hit the button. Wow, I said it. No, don't even.
Stormcast are cool.
No, they're not. They're lame.
Stormcast are cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stormcast are cool.
Shut up. God. Set you up like that, and then you just give that deer in the headlight look. Well played, sir. So, yeah, I got a Stormcast army because despite me clowning on Stormcast for since the beginning, since the dawn of this show, I love the army. Mm-hmm. I love the way they look. I love everything about them. I've always hated how they feel like they get a lot more attention than some of the other stuff.
Well, they're Space Marines.
Yeah. So but anyways.
Poster children.
Massive Stormcast army.
Yep.
Slaanesh army.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You can leave now.
What's wrong, Bill?
No,
talk to me. No, this is a safe space.
There's the door.
Come on.
There's the door.
Why?
I'm not talking about the refrigerator, the big one, the big door.
Whoa. Whoa, what are you trying to say there, buddy?
Okay.
That I would be going for the refrigerator door? Because I'm fat? Because I haven't been able to... All right, never mind.
Hi, Pot. My name's Kettle.
Yeah.
You went Slaanesh.
I did.
You actually...
I couldn't help it. It was a really good deal. Tom Maudsley was selling his Slaanesh army, and I was like, all right, bro.
Oh, great. Yeah, so I just had to do it. Sure.
All the other cool kids are doing it.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
I'm going to put it together, and I'm going to go smash out a tournament because that's what that army does. It requires no skill, right? That's what I read on the internet. It requires no skill to use. It's super broken.
There's no hard counters.
No hard counters whatsoever. I'll spray it pink, dip it purple.
Bingo.
And
done.
Yeah, and finally get some hardware for the show.
Nice.
The show, Bill. I'm doing it for both of us. I'm playing Slaanesh for both of us.
Oh.
And a little bit for Chad and Ryan.
Okay. You know.
And then massive Skaven army. Well, 2 separate Skaven armies that I'll be putting together.
Wow.
And Dispossessed. And
Nighthaunt, right?
Oh, yeah. And yeah, apparently I still have a Nighthaunt army from back in the day. And a bunch of extra Gloomspite stuff. Mostly squigs. I bought like an absurd amount of squig stuff. Regular squigs, squig riders, manglers.
Cool.
So, yeah. Basically, there's a bunch of stuff that we don't have in our mix.
Mm-hmm.
So we can have access to those armies for fun, for competitive, for everything.
Yeah.
For everything. So
there you go.
And I want to, as crazy as it sounds, I want to sit down and actually start hobbying and modeling.
Yeah. I
want to get back into this thing.
Full bore.
Yeah. This community, the hobby, everything.
Nice.
Full on.
Yay.
Yep. Tired of being a half chub. I want to pitch a full tent.
You want to be full chub?
Yep. So.
You know he's out for the season, right? One of them.
Who?
The defensive chub for Broncos. He's out for the season.
Chubb?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, there's a defensive back named Chubb, and then there's a running back named Chubb. Can you imagine what they went through in high school?
That is the best name ever.
Ever. Yeah. Well, my favorite one was when they were calling one of the games. He's a Cleveland Brown. I believe he's a Cleveland Brown running back. And the one announcer was like, Chubb breaks through the line. And then the other one was like, Chubb really sticks it in there.
Oh,
I was like, no,
man.
Don't do that.
The Chubb could go all the way. Yeah. The Chubb barreling through the grass. Anyways, so that's what I've been up to. Buying up all kinds of armies and waiting for them to get here. And
nice.
So that we can
crank out games and
Finally get back into this nonsense.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I have left to buy is possibly some Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yep.
Do that, and no, I'll have Order, Chaos, Destruction, and Death now.
Yeah.
Thanks to this mysterious Nighthaunt army that apparently I have somewhere.
Evidently, yeah. You just didn't know you had it.
I remember giving it to Chad a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. I remember that, yeah.
And I guess, I never got anything back. So
technically it's still yours.
Technically it's still mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Can't beat that.
Hashtag first world problems.
You betcha.
So, and it also means that in this spot, the creation spot, I should have content every show. I will hold myself personally accountable to actually, even if it's just, it's mostly going to be just mad assembling right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because I just have a ton of
stuff. You got a lot of that in front of you.
Yeah.
But then again, so do I, so it's not a big deal. Yep.
But, so there we are.
Yeah, so we can sneak right into battle.
Yeah. You want to take a break? Or
you want to take a break?
Yeah, I'll grab another drink.
Hey, speaking of silly theme songs and all that stuff,
okay,
need to send a shout out to old Jason there on Jeopardy. Do you ever watch Jeopardy?
Religiously with my grandmother.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
So, guy from Albuquerque won 19 days straight, $500,000. So
third highest.
Yeah.
Grossing. Yep.
Yep.
$500,000 in 19 days.
Yeah. That's a good wage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that. Especially when you consider they tape 5 shows a day. Yep. So each one of them's a half hour. So he did 2.5 hours work per day for 4.5 days? $500,000. I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seriously makes you wonder what you're doing with your life.
Not being on Jeopardy. That's probably, I'm sure. So.
There's times I sit there and I'm just like, man, and I just get like question after question after question, right?
Yep. And then you wonder why, I didn't get through the test. Yeah.
I know they're just going to ask me like Italian artists.
Yeah, that's
or something, or like Norwegian gardening techniques.
And Shakespeare's not unknown works.
Yeah. Deep cuts on Shakespeare.
Yeah.
It's
he wrote that?
Yeah. Damn it, I knew I should have got that liberal arts degree.
Yeah, no shit. But anyway, we're supposed to be talking about battles and stuff, and I've got a few games of Warcry.
What is bullshit for 200? Oh, no, you're being serious. You did.
Oh, we went Jeopardy.
Yeah, you like that?
Jeopardy for 200?
You played games. Get out of here. Yes. All right, Bill, tell us about Warcry.
It's wonderful. I love it.
Is it great?
I took my stuff to work one day, and I played with a fella out there. Yeah. That was kind of cool.
You guys play with your minis together?
Yeah. Yeah. In a conference room all by ourselves.
Oh.
Just trying to spread the hobby love, man.
Yeah, as long as 2 consenting adults. That's
right.
We're not
all
here to
you
judge.
can ask for. So, but in the really big battle arena, going to talk about 2 different shows that went down, the London GT and the Warhammer GT finals. But first up is the London GT, which our own correspondents, Mitzi and Jimbo, were at.
They're our correspondents?
Yeah, I just promoted them.
Oh,
sure, they have a show and all that stuff, but
congratulations,
they work for us.
Boys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're on the payroll now, so
I'll be damned.
You'll be getting your checks shortly.
No, Bill, this is the 4th time this show you've made an executive decision. I swear to God, you were just... What did Nova do to you?
I'm running with it, man.
Are you really Bill, or is this just Aaron in a Bill costume screwing with me?
He's wearing a Bill suit.
Yeah. He killed Bill and skinned him and is wearing him.
The world could only rejoice. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So, on the good parts, the happy parts, I guess the London GT was way better this year. The venue was better, although I suppose Mitzi and Jimbo were saying there was a dearth of bathrooms, but that's something they can address later. But the terrain, all that stuff was better. So Yeah, they seem to have recovered from the debacle that was last year, and that's great to see that they put all that effort into it to make it a great show. So very happy to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Out there, we gotta send shout outs to Mitzi and Jimbo, because Jimbo won for best appearance.
Did he?
He did indeed.
Which army did he do that with?
That Slaanesh army.
Okay.
So beautiful with his display board and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
both those guys are incredibly talented.
Yeah, they just, I hate to say they deserve each other, but they don't deserve to have each other. That's like not fair to the rest of us. I don't know. It's weird. That just got really weird.
They offset it by being such handsome and
true,
delightful individuals.
Yeah. Speaking of handsome and delightful, Mark shared the best sports award for the London GT. So,
wow.
Yeah, he shared it with Steve Curtis and Lori Huggett-Wild.
Wow. So, a three-way tie?
Yeah.
Well, obviously the only way to settle that for best sports, I don't know about the rest of them, but for best sports, when there's a three-way tie, it's clearly a fight to the death.
Yeah. Slap fight or a fight to the death.
Just a fight to the throw one spork in the middle.
Oof.
And, yeah.
Or you know what they could do? Handcuff each one of them, so they're handcuffed to each other.
Yeah.
And then let them fight, That way the other one has to drag around the dead body.
See, this is why we're trying to step up our TO game, is because we have answers.
Yeah.
For the real issues.
For the real problems.
These are the things that people don't want to settle in a tournament. They're too busy with trying to get their players to read the packs, having enough terrain.
That's not real.
No. How do you settle a three-way tie for best sports?
Yeah, blood sport.
Blood sport.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Another highlight of the show was Ming Lee did his Ultraviolet Army.
Oh,
I don't know if you saw that.
The Gloomspite? Yeah.
Where you had to hit it with the light.
Yeah. I've been watching his progress in the Troggoth chat. That's fantastic.
Just over the top. I mean, that was so crazy cool. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a couple of scrubs covering the event, doing the live streams and Yeah, some amateurs. Honest Wargamer. I don't know where they're from, but
yeah, I think I heard about him on a Facebook page or something.
Yeah, somewhere. I don't know.
No, I've heard, apparently I will come clean, and I have not watched any of Rob's stuff, unfortunately, but I have heard that he's just taken it to a whole nother level.
Yeah, their coverage of events is bar none the best.
All right. Then I will. I'll take the plunge and
watch it for sure. I mean, it helps a lot when you have people who are really knowledgeable of the game, and they can kind of predict what's going to happen next, and they can kind of talk through the different strategies they're seeing.
So, like full on Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Predicting, like, why is this man not a defensive coordinator?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And they're not afraid when they get it wrong to go, whoops, I didn't see that coming, but that's a better play, So, yeah, Rob and company, they got definitely, they know how to cover an event, so.
And for full disclosure, it's not that I don't watch the stuff for any personal reason. It's just that I
just don't have the time.
Well, I also really haven't had that level of interest in the hobby.
Yep.
For a while. So now, I definitely jump on that, see what they're doing.
So the top 10 at London was...
Here we go.
Daughters of Cain, Disciples of Tzeentch, Fire Slayers, Skaven in fourth, Jack Armstrong Skaven in fourth. Then you had Flesh Eater Courts, Grand Host and Nagash, Idoneth Deepkin, Blades of Corn, Fire Slayers being the first of the doubles, and then Flesh Eater Carts being the second of the doubles in the top 10. But that's not a top 10 that you would really... You notice what's absent from that? There is no
Slaanesh. I'll be damned.
In the top 10. The first Slaanesh comes in at 12th.
Yeah. So, more importantly, Ironjaw's at 11.
Yep.
So if you took the top 11, that's all four.
Yeah.
Grand Alliance is represented.
Mm-hmm.
And also, how about a Grand Host of Nagash army in there?
Yeah.
I'll be damned. That is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there's some interesting mixed stuff in there. Gotta throw a shout out to Piotr Kurkowski, who was the overall winner. I believe he's from Poland. Okay. Came out there for the London GT and took home the trophy.
Very nice.
So, yeah.
And
congrats to him.
I got to say, so I have such mixed feelings seeing Disciples of Tzeentch in second because like it immediately triggers like
the memories,
memories, like the PTSD of Tzeentch just being
dominating
the worst thing ever on the table. And it's not like that anymore. And it's, I mean, Tzeentch fell off the face of the world for a long time there. So it's cool to see some of the guys stick with them and make that army work again. Because they look fantastic on the table for sure.
And, you know, they play well.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, with the General's Handbook changes, they're a thing again. I don't think they're what they used to be, but they're definitely a thing.
Well, I've heard Change Host is pretty bonkers. I don't think it's quite like it was before.
And that's what he's running, Change Host.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So that's fun. That's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the London GT. And yeah, that is definitely a much more refreshing top 10.
Oh yeah.
Finish. Top 11.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got to work those iron jaws in there.
The iron jaws. So, and actually, Sylvaneth is 13th, and that is a newer army that has just not shown its face in a podium.
Right.
In fact, I think it has really failed to even crack top 10. Yeah. I'm sure it's done it here and there, but that is not an army that's talked about even remotely in the top 10.
Right.
Top tiers, anything.
Yep. And they just got all those changes in the new book.
Yeah.
And we may still be seeing that little bit of a delay as people figure out and crack the code.
Maybe.
So, but yeah, you're right. They're not knocking it down. Although we will see shortly that that's not always the truth.
Yep.
Because hot on the heels of the London GT, you had the Warhammer Finals, the AOS Finals, out there at Warhammer World.
Yep.
And over there, your top 10 was, go figure, Slaanesh. But then Bone Splitters, Sylvaneth, Skaven, Tzeentch, Slaanesh, Khaine, Nurgle, Deepkin, and Flesh Eater Courts. So, talk about turning things up on its ear.
Yeah, I just ate crow on that one. Sylvaneth in top 3. All right.
Yeah, but when you look at the mix of armies in that's pretty darned amazing. I don't think I said the same thing twice. Well, no, there's 2 Slaanesh. Yeah, there's 1st and 6th was Slaanesh. Sorry. But still, that's a pretty damn good mix when you have Demons and Nurgle, Daughters of Khaine, Tzeentch, Skaven, Sylvaneth, Bone Splitters coming in second. I got to say, Byron Ord, great job.
Yeah, it turns out Cunning Rock is still
a thing.
Terrifying.
Well, and that's the whole thing of, you know, how do you kill these armies that can just beat your face? Shoot them to death before they get to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Shoot all their characters, whatever it takes.
Yeah, you just have to murder them to death, and then you can pretty much ride out the game.
Yeah?
I'm not saying that's what his plan was, but yeah, so the shout out to James Tinsdale for winning with Slaanesh. Then Byron Ord, second with his Bone Splitters. Laurie Huggett-Wild with his Sylvaneth. Mark Brooks with Skaven. And Chris Caves, I hope I got that right, with Tzeentch. So, yeah, Terry Pike, honorable mention there at 8th. Ben Sava coming in 7th. Yep. Yeah, I mean, Terry with Nurgle. So, and I believe also shout out to Terry Pike because he won the best overall appearance. So
yeah, that dude's stuff is
he's Terry Pike.
Like I feel like he went from amazing to ridiculous. You know, like his standard was so good, and then he did his YouTube stuff, and it's like he just hit a whole new level of quality.
So if you're GW and you're sitting around and you're looking at these 2 major events that went down within 2 weeks of each other, and you look at these top 10s, do you sit back and go, we figured it out, we got it?
No,
no,
because there's still a lot of armies out there that are relatively new that just don't do anything.
Well, okay, sure, you could bring up some. You're not seeing Gloomspite in there. You're not seeing
KO,
Seraphon, KO.
Seraphon aren't new. Nobody cares about Seraphon, Bill. Stop trying to Stop trying to make fetch happen.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, I think.
What I think they look at is they don't have any major broken problems right now.
Yeah, half of your top 10 being Slaanesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was more of a fluke, and it was the new hotness, and everybody had it.
Well, there's so many things to look at, right? Is it a 5-game tournament?
Yeah.
Is it a 6-game tournament?
Right.
I've heard a lot of people talk about there's certain armies that in a 5-game tournament just do so much better, and that extra game completely makes them fall apart. And then some of them, it's the opposite effect. And then obviously the big one is that nobody ever really talks about is the missions.
Yeah.
Is what missions got pulled out of the, I don't know, Jesus,
36.
36. Yeah, some insane number of missions that are available to pick from nowadays. So, there's some armies that just cannot freaking compete in certain missions. And so they're pretty much just taken out of the run, and that's unfortunate. And I don't, from a design and balance standpoint, it's like, well, do I reevaluate this book from the ground up and adjust points, adjust war scrolls, all this other stuff, because there's the chance that 1 or 2 missions out of 36 get pulled and this army just is basically invalidated?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't think that's what you fix the scenario. It's easier, or you drop it,
or you leave it in
as the balance.
Yeah, as part of the checks and balance. Maybe, I don't know. There's a reason that the rules writers at GW make 6-7 digit income and drive around in brand new Lamborghinis and stuff.
Do they really?
They do. They don't show it on the community website, but that's what I've heard.
I did see the limousines out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the rules writers. Those guys.
Wow.
They're on a whole different level.
That is so cool.
Yep.
Wow.
They have tea with the queen. Anyways, but for real, that job's got to be rough. It sounds so cool on paper, but then I bet there's times those dudes just want to bash their heads into their desks.
Sure. Especially when they see results like we did, a month back, where you had 5 out of the top 10 were one fact. But again, I'll bet you they look at that and go, the book is out now for a couple of months. They're hitting their stride, or actually at that time it was out for about a month and a half, and everybody's playing it. So, it's that whole thing of profiling. If 40% of your players are Slaanesh, you kind of have to figure that 40% of the top 10 is going to be Slaanesh.
Oh, I forget. I don't want to put the words in anyone's mouth. I don't remember who said it, but what I heard was, if your top 10 are the same, if the same armies are in the top 10 or there are in the bottom 10, then the parity's right.
Right.
Or whatever. I don't know if I agree with that. I think it's just an interesting statement.
I think it also flips down to who's playing it.
Yes.
There's a big difference between me playing KO and, Jack Armstrong playing KO.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure he would do better. Just flat out of straight out of the gate, he would do a little bit better. So we could take the same exact list and, or we could both play Slaanesh. And I guarantee you he would finish a lot better than me. Unless I ran into nothing but cupcakes all the way.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, those are the 2 big tournaments that happened recently. And it calms the parts of my heart and soul that were very, very, very upset after the last show that we did covering events that were so one-sided, so out of balance, so out of whack. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well.
So, that does sort of lead into our lore topic for the evening, which I'm just going to kind of call it hobby burnout.
Okay.
AOS burnout. AOS depression, the kind of feeling that you get when you see results we saw, last episode coming out of Nova and a couple of other events where it was all Slaanesh. And you thought maybe we were going back to where it was before. And the whole thing that triggered this discussion we're going to have is the Mitzi and Jimbo show. So if you guys aren't watching or listening via podcast to the Mitzi and Jimbo show, run to YouTube right now and subscribe to Mitzi and Jimbo, or put it into your favorite little podcast app and listen to it as a podcast.
Do it now.
Yeah. Because it's number one, it's a quality show. Number two of the greatest guys in the universe. And so, it's going to be a good thing. What happened at the London GT was like a tale of two different things. Jimbo went out there, and I don't remember what his record was gaming-wise. I think he was like 2-3 or 3-2. I don't think he, knocked down any huge playing awards, but he did win the best appearance and all that stuff. And as I mentioned before, Mitzi won Best Sports. But the problem was Mitzi went 0-5. And on the show, their latest show, he talked about how he was absolutely furious. He was ready to chuck the whole thing. He was completely demotivated. And like he said, it wasn't just because he lost 5 games. It was the way he lost 5 games. No. Where he felt like he wasn't even a competitor in the game. He was the guy there to take off models for the other fella. And, so it speaks a lot to him as a person to be able to get best opponent votes when you're absolutely seething inside, but outside you're presenting that appearance of someone who's having a grand time and enjoying the game, even though you're getting your face pushed in. So hats off to him for doing that. There's also, and I believe that there's, and I think maybe everybody goes through it. I know I go through it, where I just get very depressed and I don't want to continue with the game because I feel like there's no hope for me or the armies that I want to play. I'm always lamenting the fact that the 2 armies I really enjoy, Beastclaw and Seraphon, are kind of, back burner tier 3 or tier 9 for the Beastclaw. But, they're not exactly what you would consider strong. And when you're not a good player like me, there's really no point in bringing out your Seraphon because you're compounding. It's one thing if you're Jack Armstrong, you can play up to people, even with an inferior army. You can probably achieve better than average results. But when you're me, you can't do that. So it becomes depressing. And sometimes I just don't want to continue. I just really don't feel like I'm into it.
Okay. 2 things. Mm-hmm. First is at the Warhammer GT, Beastclaw Raiders came in 35th.
Hey, there's hope.
I'm just saying. They're on the first page. And secondly, how much of that is an excuse?
Probably a bunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times people will use that whole I'm not insert top tier player. And I never will be. And it's not with that attitude.
Right.
And it's not like these dudes just woke up one day and they were like, you know what? I'm just gonna go win a Warhammer tournament. Screw it. You dudes have been doing it for a long time.
No, I think Jack Armstrong wakes up and I'm just gonna go out and win a tournament right now.
Well, I mean, good for him then. And I don't think sometimes these guys get that credit.
Yeah.
Right. For putting in
the effort.
Years and years of the legwork to learn these armies and get to the level that they're playing at now. And
you look at the Bill Souzas, the Matt Pashbys, our own Andrew Standiford. These guys eat, drink, sleep. They're always thinking about this stuff. They're always looking for that edge. They're always looking for that thing. And that's more dedication than I have. So, you're right. Half of it, or I don't want to say half, but a part of it is, I can't put in all that extra time.
Or that you just won't.
Well, I mean, I have other things that I have to do.
So. Right, but what I'm saying is, it's so easy to be very dismissive. Okay, well, and I'm not attacking you personally for it. I'm just saying, like, I think sometimes, what are you trying to what are you doing over there, Bill? Jesus Christ. Give me.
No. My toy.
Anyways.
I'm playing with the laser pointer again.
You're flashing yourself with a laser pointer.
Well, it's part of that depression thing.
Really?
I
can't win at Warhammer, so I got to blind myself with. Anyways.
It's my penitence.
What I'm saying is, I think it's very easy to be like, well, yeah, I have other things to do. Like, well, yeah, so do these other guys. You know, it's not like they're full-time Warhammer players. They just happen to, in their free time, think about it. So don't diminish that from them either.
I think they're sponsored by the Illuminati.
Probably. Okay. But anyway, God bless you, Bill. I'm just saying, like, what do you want from, not you personally again, but as like the listener or whatever, what do you want from yourself? What do you want? Do you want to win tournaments? Then admit that and start working at it.
Yeah.
Do you want to win painting trophies? Then tell yourself that's what you're going to do and start putting in the legwork to freaking do it. You know?
Yeah.
Again, it's not like Vince Venturella picked up a paintbrush and was just like, I'm just going to make this one of the best models anybody on Twitter's seen, and I'll get like 600 likes because I'm cool like that. Dude's been doing this for like probably his entire life since he was a kid, been inundating himself with art.
And that's what you hear from all the heavy metal painters and all the really great ones is they've put in the time. But that's really not, I mean, that's kind of getting off the topic here, because what I'm trying to approach here is that idea of burnout. What makes people depressed? What gives them that feeling of burnout? And then really, what are some of the things that you can do to combat it? And honestly, the list I made up for reasons for the burnout, some of these are just from my own point of view.
Okay.
But I know, like the rapid release schedule, where things are coming out so fast. If it hits you, if it's stuff that you are all over, then you're super excited. But what about the guy that hasn't seen a release for his stuff for a long time? Or who is feeling like, you know, the Stormcast guy. All these other armies are getting...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Great stuff.
Really? You're going to pull Stormcast out on... Are you trolling me?
No.
Are you trolling me?
No.
Yeah, Stormcast can wait a minute. Just hit the old pause button. What are you doing?
Now, I'm just checking to see how many Stormcasts are in the top 10. Oh, yeah, that was none. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that, none. So I'm just using them as an example. But, you know, that rapid release schedule is one of those things that I think can sometimes affect people. And also, I mean, there's a lot of people out there I know who just can't wrap their head around all the new stuff that's coming out at such a rapid pace. Again, you have this everything has to be better than everything else mentality that seems to be a hallmark of GW's releases lately. If we put out a book, the next one has to be better.
Does it though?
That is a feeling that is out there, that the power creep.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's just something that it's an excuse. I think some of this stuff is just an excuse. Idonette Deepkin's an older book.
Doesn't matter if it's an excuse. If it's affecting people, then it's real. Perception is reality.
Yeah,
if it affects you, then don't dismiss it.
I feel like I have to dismiss it because the truth is different.
So just play better?
No, but acknowledge that some of the older books are still kicking around. Deepkin, Daughters of Cain, and some of the newer books don't do shit like Sylvaneth and Gloomspite.
Oh, yeah.
So that whole power creep argument is bogus. It's just bogus. I'm sorry. And again, Slaanesh, they took it out. Slaanesh and Skaven, supposed to be some of the most terrifying armies, and they had a moment there in the spotlight.
Oh yeah,
where it looked like it was supposed to be doom and gloom. Nobody else was up there with them, and now they're kind of
struggling to place.
And they're not struggling to place, but they're definitely spreading out.
Yeah,
there's other stuff getting into the top 10. Hell,
and doesn't this always happen?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying is like,
except with Zinch. back in the day.
That was a glitch in the system. But another thing is like if you're looking at, okay, Slaanesh took 5 of the top 10. This game is so unbalanced. I don't know if I still want to play this. What am I spending this money, this time, this effort, if one army is just going to come in and just make it so that it's unplayable?
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of like the vibe you're going for.
And then less than a month later.
Well, not only that, it's like, okay, well, hold on. Do you go to these major events? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So you're just playing with your local buddies. Do any of your local buddies have a Slaanesh army? So it literally has no effect on you whatsoever.
Yeah, it's ruining the game. God damn it. I'm not letting you go on this.
I'm just saying, like, let's readjust that perspective a little bit.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you're already depressed or, like you said, even if you're using this as an excuse, it's a thing. It's a real thing.
Okay, well, yeah, and I'm trying to come up with solutions.
I know, but I have a list of those later.
Oh, all right, Bill.
All right.
Let's do the show how you want to do.
That's
right?
right.
I'm just here to smile and look pretty. Welcome to the Rolling Bad Podcast. That's what I do.
Lick your lips and look pretty, damn it.
Right.
Shut up.
I mean, I guess it justifies me wearing this skirt the whole
That's
time.
right. That's right.
Jesus.
And next time, lose the leggings, okay? So, well, what about this feeling? And I know I'm guilty of being Chicken Little on this a lot.
You?
No, really me, yeah. What about this whole thing of every new army that comes out seems to have one thing that completely breaks another army's ability to play their game? So, for instance, let's take the Oryx.
Okay, yeah.
You have what is it,
There's
Drac
some
Tooth.
faction for Bone Splitters that allows them to ignore basically ethereal.
Yeah, it just basically says...
It screws death.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no point in playing Nighthaunt anymore. I basically need to put these on the shelf. Because they're completely invalidated.
No, Bill. Don't even put them on the shelf. Burn them in the backyard and record
Damn,
it.
that's right. Now that they got paint on them, they'll burn quicker.
Much quicker.
Yeah.
And they'll
It's like an accelerant.
scream in sadness.
No, they're already dead. They're not going to care.
That's true.
But, I mean, I have seen that argument out there.
Yeah, and I saw that countered very quickly. Somebody took the time to use that pesky math and said, okay, we'll take how many Bone Splitters armies show up. We'll double it. We'll triple it. I think he tripled it because it'll be flavor of the month.
Sure.
Out of those, how many will actually play this particular faction?
All of them.
Very few of them because there's the other factions in there are really good. And then how many of the games that individual play
will be against
Nighthaunt? It's like such a small number.
So if I was to go to a tournament with my Nighthaunt, I would run into the 5 guys that brought that.
Well, that's you, Bill. And
you're not talking me down from this, man. It's a real thing. These are real things I've seen on the real internet. So.
The real internet.
I'm telling you, these are reasons that people get depressed and burned out and upset.
Yes, I know.
And
I see
you
it.
can discount it all you want.
I'm not discounting. I see this all the time in our little group.
Yes.
Individual, certain people that...
You can call me out. I don't care. You know me. I was the one the other night going, Drac Tooth, man. I'm just throwing out my Nighthaunt.
This game's so stupid. I'm so tired of this damn power creep, man. This Games Workshop. Well, yeah, Bill, if you would get back to buying every army that came out, maybe they wouldn't do this so bad. But
well,
You've been modest in your purchases lately, and it's embarrassing.
I know. I'm terrible. I got to get better. But now we're going to cut to the real, the honest to God, the person that has that really negative play experience.
Okay.
And this was what Mitzi talked a lot about on the show, was he wasn't furious about losing 5 games. He was furious about the way he felt he was able to give his opponents a game. And at the London GT, they used a strength of schedule to determine the overall winner. So, and his whole thing was because one of the guys in the top 2 played me in game 1, and my strength of schedule was so bad, or my strength as an opponent was so bad, I potentially knocked him out of first place because of my bad performance. You know, and he talks about on the show, out of a possible 60 points on Saturday for the 3 games, because, you know, they were 20-0 game, 20-0 scoring system, he scored 4 points on Saturday. So he just felt like he may have affected the outcome of the whole deal by having such a bad weekend and putting up such a bad number, you know, a bad result. And I think Mark also made one of the best quotes I've ever heard. That one of the things that he was feeling coming back from that was, and he summed it up as, good lists aren't fun and fun lists aren't good.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Yep. And honestly, I think there is some truth to that, although, you know, I don't know, because I think you can have a very good, fun Slaanesh list, but I don't know. I thought it was a very great quote, but I mean, there is also, you know, he was angry. He was upset. He was ready to quit. You know, luckily he had a support network out there that was able to climb him up out of the doldrums. And then, of course, what's his name? Gotrek model came out, so that really pulled him out. But, I mean, you know, not everybody has that network to fall back on. I know I don't. You guys made fun of me when I was all upset. So.
And we'll do so again.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually, I've seen some other stuff similar pop up on Twitter lately of people going to tournaments and just getting absolutely battered.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like their first time ever attending an event or something like that. And they're just like, whoa, I don't know if this game is for me or not.
Yeah.
And stuff. So.
Well, and I mean, you know, we've talked about it before too, is we have a lot of people that are out there that are at the local game store level whose sole mission in life is to club the baby seals.
Oh, yeah.
Is to get that guy's first game and to absolutely smash them. And that's when the people look around and go, why did I even spend this money? This was dumb.
Yeah.
You know, and that could burn you out like instantly. And I know for a fact that we had a local player here that ran into one of our Smash the Baby Seal guys. And he actually came back on the group and was like, yeah, guys, I'm out. See ya. And it was only through the application of, no. You played the one guy that nobody would suggest for your first game. It's not like that all the time. We'll play Saturday and you'll have fun. Trust me. So, you know. But those things, that leads to the burnout, too. That could make you hate life.
Fair enough. Okay, well.
But then you also have real life stuff. I mean.
Oh, okay.
And this is where I'm going to hit you square.
Uh-oh.
Because you got out completely. You chucked the whole hobby for a little while.
Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with winning or losing or.
Well, it had something to do with losing. Just not at
40K.
Not at 40K range anymore.
All right, so that's some of the causes of the feel bads and the burnouts. And I'm sure there's a ton of others.
Yeah.
And I think really probably the most prevalent one, I know you poked a lot of holes in some of the ones that I talked about.
Okay.
By saying play better. But
oh my God. I like how right before we went to the break, you were like, so your life fell apart and you dropped out of the hobby. And then when we came back into the break, you're like, all right, so we're going to move on to solutions. Nice transition.
Well, let's talk about your life falling apart.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I mean, not the details. But you did get out of it completely.
Yeah, I did.
So.
I like everything, not just tabletop.
No.
I got rid of all my role-playing,
card
games.
You did everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grabbed as much as I could so I could give it back to you when you came back.
Yeah, well.
So, I mean, you know.
It's like chlamydia. It just keeps coming back.
Oh, that wasn't rehearsed. But, I mean, yeah, you went through this.
Yeah.
So the answer wasn't play better then.
Damn it, Bill. I never said play better.
But I'm going to keep hammering it
I know.
until you admit.
Right.
Okay. But, I mean, no, there are really real-life concerns that would lead you away from the hobby.
Sure.
Because you were going through some shit.
Yeah.
And
life happens.
Yeah. And this was not a priority at the moment.
No.
So.
It still isn't, but you won't leave me alone.
That's right.
You and Andrew just keep pestering me incessantly. So out of pity, I'll continue to play this stuff.
Because you know what?
What? Lay it on me, Bill.
I'm going to get punched.
Come on.
Andrew and I both understand that you're a better Warhammer player than you are a spouse.
Jesus Christ. What? But I'm terrible at war. Oh my God.
So we've kind of identified some of the reasons why you might get depressed or burned out or in a funk. And mostly I'm talking about just in a funk.
Yeah.
Not depressed over this stuff, because there's real clinical depression, and depressed over a game is different, I think. I will deal with when I feel like the game's not hitting me right in the happy spot completely. Although I have to say, I always count on GW no matter what's going on. They always tend to fix whatever is wrong with the game. It's not like the old days. But what I'll do is I'll move into building terrain. Maybe I don't know what army I want to go to next. I don't want to build my Seraphon yet because I want to see what they're going to do. Or I don't want to finish building them. So I'll just build more terrain, which happens to be nice because I'm running the the LVO narrative event. So I have to build a lot of terrain.
You're like me on a plane to Nottinghamshire or wherever the hell I was allegedly going.
You're going to Raw 19.
Oh, yeah, that's the
war.
One. Yeah. War.
So
I'm there.
You Twitter double timer.
Yeah.
2-timer. So, yeah, I will just start building terrain or learning new things and just playing with terrain for a while.
Okay.
Until I really can get, that's why I haven't built any of the 40K armies yet, because I'm really not, I want to do Blood Angels. I want to do Salamanders. I want to do what's the name? Raven Guard. So it's hard to choose. So I'll just build some terrain for a while. And then, of course, hate to keep harping on it, but it's all we do. There's other ways to play this game. You don't have to always play the match play, beat face. I have to score well or else. Play a narrative game.
What's that?
It's where you just tell a story. You don't worry so much about points and all that stuff.
Why the hell would you do that?
Okay, moving on.
That's like trying to tell a story behind a game of Monopoly.
That's a great story. We're living that story.
Right?
We are in that narrative.
Oh, yeah, and look how sad it is. So why would you want to bring that into your Warhammer?
Because capitalism is good. Okay, anyway. Okay, so, there's definitely room for narrative play and open play. And, if you are taking your... Let's go with it. Let's do Beastclaw Raiders against Slaanesh.
Sure.
This should be a good matchup for the Raiders. Oh, wait. Maybe not.
Why not, Bill?
Well, let me see. They're actually not going to give away a lot of depravity because they're pretty much going to get wiped out on turn 1. And what's the point of bringing on extra stuff if there's nothing on the table?
Have you tried playing better?
I knew we'd get to that.
There you go.
So,
anyways.
But who says you have to play 2000 versus 2000? If you're doing a narrative game, if you're doing an open play game, and you're just out there to have fun, who cares if you have 5 Thunder Tusks instead of 4, which is the limit? So take a 5th. What the hell, Mix it up a little bit. Play a narrative game. Tell a story. Do something different to shake up and to spice up your games. And you're going to have people out there that are truly just competitive that aren't going to want to do that with you, but I bet you'll find somebody that will play to have fun. And you can probably get your spirits back a little bit by playing in a game that's, slightly more fair, slightly less competitive. You think?
Okay.
You just want to say play better.
No,
Okay.
That's fine. No, never mind. Continue.
Well, how would you? I mean, what brought you back to the hobby?
The incessant wife-like nagging of my friends trying to bring me back into this when I thought I had broken loose finally for once in my life and I could move on.
Yeah, no. I mean, that was nice of you to, think you could be independent for a little while.
Right.
But let's just talk about who knows best. No, seriously. I mean, honestly, if we're going to try to help people who are in a funk, how would you deal with it? How do you deal with it when you just don't feel like being a part of it anymore? And I mean, you are definitely the success story because you came back after literally getting rid of everything you owned.
Yeah.
Which I was the great benefactor, I have to say. It's so wonderful. But
yeah. Oh, geez. I don't know how much of a parallel that has to what other people might be going through. I don't know.
probably more than you think.
Okay. Then I had to realize that the reason I got out was misguided, and then make an active decision to get back in because I didn't want to for a long time.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy the people.
Yep.
I think that's like the best thing about this hobby is the community.
Oh, yeah.
Sure shit is not gluing these models together.
No.
Or painting them. It's the people you get to hang out with, the friendships you make and stuff. And I think I realized that I was losing a lot of that by not being a part anymore. So, I don't know. Yeah, that kind of motivated me a little bit. And then...
Can I ask you a personal question?
Oh, boy.
And you
Please
feel free to not ask because it might not be my place to ask. But do you think maybe that you put on gaming, you blamed gaming for some of the things that were going on in your life? And maybe that wasn't exactly true, but it was convenient at the moment to lash out at... I mean, because you couldn't lash out at your friends. You can't lash out at your family.
Oh, I mean, I can, but...
Well, sure, but...
there's nothing stopping me, damn it. Okay.
I told you I was going to get punched this episode.
Yeah, I suppose gaming got blamed for what? For life or whatever you want to say. But I mean, that's like blaming... I don't know. Yeah, it just wasn't accurate. So,
yeah. I mean, I can kind of see it. I have gone through that phase myself where, I blamed, at the time it was model railroading, but for a lot of my issues that I had at work, because, I stepped back one day and I was like, Jesus, I spend more time with these stupid little model railroad cars than I do getting better at my job so I can get promoted. And so I just basically dumped it all and got rid of it. And, the regret set in about 2 months later when I realized it was just me being an idiot. So I've been there.
Yeah.
So
you're calling me an idiot?
No, I was calling me an idiot. But if you want to infer...
But you used it as like...
I use it as a generalization.
Oh, Bill.
See, now you're putting words in my mouth and I'm upset. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Triggered.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to get out of it, you just had to realize that it was actually more of a part of your life than you were giving it credit for. And more of a good part of your life.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, I got back into it because, you guys were pretty insistent, and I didn't want to abandon you on the show. And then to be on this, I've started feeling incredibly guilty that I've been on the show not contributing really other than just a voice for you guys to bounce ideas off of because I wasn't playing the game or collecting it or
right.
anything, and I think it really started to show. So, and then, yeah, just me kind of realizing like how the gaming will always be a part of my life.
Yeah.
Like it or not. So yeah, I just kind of embraced it.
Yep.
Came back in full force.
I think really what it comes down to is, and this was the same thing for Mitzi, is that it's the network of friends that you've made over the years that always draws you back in, and it reminds you that, for the lack of a better words, this really is a happy place. The game is going to change all the time. Yeah. The models are going to change all the time. We're not going to even play the same edition in 5 years.
Sure, and I think you see it. I think you see that a lot in like every time the ETC rolls around.
Yeah,
because we had such a nasty division between people who played Age of Sigmar and who branched off into other games.
Yeah,
and at the ETC, those other games are represented. The guys who go over there to play Age of Sigmar, and then the guys who go over there to play those other games, they always have that moment of like, I missed you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you always see it on Twitter. These, they're like, it's so good to see so-and-so again.
Yeah.
Because we obviously don't hang out anymore. We
right.
don't talk about, because this game managed to divide us so much, which is weird. But that sense of community is still there. People that, my best friends, I think all of my friends in my life now have all been because of gaming.
Yeah.
I don't have any friends in my life that are from anything
else. Or just hanging out, yeah.
But yeah, okay, so the community is really big. There was some other stuff you mentioned, like rapid releases.
That's one of the reasons for getting into a hobby funk.
But, did you want to address them in, like, ways to get out of the funk because of them? Or?
It's really hard, though, because, like we said, when I mentioned that, you were even saying that, honestly, is that really an issue? Because at some point, the releases are going to hit you, and you're going to be all kinds of happy. The last few releases I haven't really cared about, but it hasn't really put me into a funk or anything. Well, yeah. Other than this Oryx book with its anti-night haunt, just bull crap.
Oh yeah, just totally ruined your narrative. Well, you have so much to do,
and
that's I can't understand. Like, if you're one of those rare, you got to be a rare breed. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but somebody who has like just one army.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you play. And so, yeah, if your ticket doesn't get pulled anytime soon, maybe it does feel like you're being ignored. But I can't imagine. So start a second army. I don't know.
And that's the truth, though, is, the way the releases are now, it's so fast and so furious that there's got to be something out there that you like in addition to whatever else you're doing. And, there's still that, and I know I mentioned this, there's a lot of people, and I pulled that rapid release schedule as a reason for depression over the hobby, because there's a lot of people that would love to buy into some of these new releases, but it's too damned expensive, and there's a lot of people where this is not, they don't spend like I do, or like you do recently. They have to budget this stuff. They have to measure out what they buy, and so they have to let a lot of things that they might like go buy them. But time always comes around, and it's one of those deals where usually stuff shakes out. So
yeah,
it's fun. Look at you buying 6, 7, 8 new armies.
Yeah,
I couldn't even do that. Shit,
not with that attitude.
Well, earn more. God damn it, play better, earn more.
Yeah. Buy better.
Yeah, buy better. So, there's lots of ways, and I think one of the things you hit on, and I was giving you crap for it, and I hope people don't think I was being mean, but I was. But there's a lot of times that you're right. You get into these hobby funks and these depressive moments really just because you're making an excuse for something else.
Yeah.
And it's because you don't want to start to paint that other army, or you dread the idea of having to crack open a new book and learn all the things for a new army. But, once you start doing it, and that's what I always find is once you start painting something, it just starts to click after that. You might hold that project in the back of your mind for 6 months, but then that one day when you just say, well, hell with it, I'm going to start it. And then all of a sudden it just seems to go by. Hey, I'm done. That's cool. Yay. Yeah. So, I mean, there's all kinds of ways to get out, but I think the number one way is reach out to your friends. More often than not, they'll set you back on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
I think anyway.
Definitely.
So, do we want to leave that where it is?
I think so.
Not play better, but have better friends.
If you would like to get in touch with us, you can reach us on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/rollingbadpodcast, all one word. Our Patreon page is at www.patreon.com/rollingbadpodcast, again, all one word. The Twitter account for the show is at rolling_bad, and our individual Twitter accounts are, for me, at Bill Castello, Castello, and for Ryan, he is at RT Gamer. All of our guests on the show will have their contact information in the show notes, and any products that we mention will also be similarly placed in the show notes. The music for the show is used courtesy of Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com and used under the Creative Commons license.
See, this is why you almost need a scrolling one where I can only see see it as I'm reading it.
I do have a teleprompter app.
But, we got to try that next time. Mm-hmm. And then you just got to screw it. On a quick tangent before we get lost in this show or whatever we're going to do. That college humor, like I find 95% of the stuff they do isn't that great. But they have this new skit where it's them doing the news, like a local news thing, but they don't know what's on the teleprompter. And it's a game, and whoever laughs the least, whoever breaks character or whatever, is like the winner. And oh my God, some of it is just like so stupidly funny, them stumbling into just saying awful things. And
oh God,
it's genius. So
that's good stuff.
Yeah, if you ever did that to me, I'd cry because I'd just sit here and read it like a monkey waiting for my banana.
Good, Elric. Good.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God. That's too good. That's too good.
Wow, I just had a really dark thought.
Oh, go for it. Speak.
Jesus.
Am I going to edit this out?
Yes.
Okay, good.
If Games Workshop ever comes out with an official rope with a noose, Bill is in trouble because he's going to buy that. And it might be.
Then I'll have it available.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going in the bloopers.
Oh, my God. I can't believe that popped into my head. I mean, I can, but.
Yeah.
Anyways, move on.
I'm going to start over because there was a little rough transition there.
Yeah.
Are we ready to move on to some of the solutions?
Yeah, if you don't mind me sobbing silently in the background as you.
No, I'll carry it from here. Don't worry. I got this. I do love it so. Okay.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you what I do when I feel like there's no hope for me and my Age of Sigmar hobby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't dealt with the other stuff yet. But honestly, I moved to Terrain.